Picture this, two online businesses, same revenue, same market, same profit. One sells for double the price while the other one sits on the market for months. What's the difference? One is irresistible to buyers while the other one is too risky. In this video, I'll be giving you the 5 metrics that you can use to make your business irresistible to buyers so you can achieve the valuation and the price that you deserve when you sell your business. If you're wondering what your business is worth, I've created an AI GPT tool in which you can get an instant valuation. So click the link in the description and get your valuation now. Metric number 1 is platform dependency. If you're an online business, you are using some sort of platform to make sales and grow your business. If you're in e-com, then are you selling all of your products via Amazon only? You don't know what Bezos is going to do tomorrow. He's going to increase fees. He's going to increase delivery costs. He's going to increase warehouse storage costs. And all of a sudden, your margins have gone from X to Y, and you are now squeezed. And that's why platform dependency is extremely dangerous. But it just doesn't apply to e-com and physical products. If you're selling digital products or B2B services, you're probably marketing through, for example, Meta ads. If you're only using one platform, only Meta, to deliver your ads and to grow your business, what happens if the algorithm changes like it just did yesterday? In fact, not yesterday, but last week, the algorithm changed and there's a shift happening in the algorithm, which is going to affect some people who are selling on Meta. If you're only using one channel, can you start using other channels? Like the same example, if you're only selling on Amazon, can you sell on your own site too? If you're not, start doing that. Now, as a lifestyle business, it's easy for you to continue to sell because there's plenty of buyers out there. There's plenty of traffic on Meta, on Amazon, on eBay, on all of these platforms. But the more that you can make your business less dependent on third-party platforms and increase traffic and increase sales through your own channels, that is the best thing to do. Can you move some of your online sales offline? So definitely online and AI is where the world is at today. You can achieve the best multiples and the best valuations when you're selling online and via using AI. But if you can move some of your business offline, then that gives your business a level of predictability, a level of diversification of revenue, and that is attractive to buyers. Buyers don't just buy the sales and the profit of a business, but they buy the predictability of those sales and that profit. Metric number 2 is operational independence. That means making the business independent of you. When you want to sell your business, you don't want to sell yourself along with the business. You want to sell your business and you get the payout. Buyers don't want to buy you. They want to buy your business so they can continue to earn from your business when you're long gone. Sometimes sellers have to sell their business, and let's say you're in that position where the business is entirely reliant on you or very reliant on you, and you have to sell the business, then buyers are going to want you to stay on for a period of time. And that might not fit your goals. It might fit your goals, but it might not fit your goals. Do you really want to sell your business and be an employee for someone else, taking orders from someone else? Ideally, you want to sell your business and have a clean break. But the truth is that founder-dependent businesses, owner-dependent businesses, they have a deduction on business valuation. So if your business is supposed to be worth 4x multiple, if the business is too reliant on the owner, then that takes a discount and that can go to 3x or even 2x, even in the online space. If you're in the offline spaces, it can go all the way down to 1.5x and sometimes even 1x if the business is too reliant on the owner. So increase the valuation of your business by taking yourself out of the business and making it irresistible to business buyers and investors. Metric number 3 is revenue predictability. Now, this one is key. There are many businesses out there, and there's nothing hugely wrong with this. If your business has to start from zero at the beginning of the month, every single month, then buyers see that as something which is a little bit risky. Now, of course, if you've got historical performance and long historical performance of your business, 3 to 5 years worth of good, strong sales and profitability, then that's great news. But buyers really enjoy and investors love businesses that have some sort of subscription models, some sort of contract models, something that gives predictability to your revenue. So let's say you're an SMMA business and you're selling digital marketing services to a company, then if you can get them on a 12-month contract, that is going to increase the predictability of your business. If you're selling some sort of physical product or even digital product, if you can get some sort of recurring revenue, some sort of subscription model going on, that is going to increase the predictability of your revenue and make your business 10 times more attractive to business buyers and investors. Recurring revenue is hot right now. Any business which has some element of recurring revenue, and ideally 30% or more, then the valuations on those businesses are increasing more and more. Why do you think SaaS businesses have such high multiples and valuations? Is because they have this recurring fee model. I've said in other videos that online businesses, generally speaking, are between 2.5x, it can be 2x, up to 6x in the normal range. It can go higher if you've got something special going on. But if you can increase the recurring aspect of your business becomes much more valuable in the eyes of investors and buyers. So can you make your revenue more predictable and make your business that much more irresistible to business buyers and investors? Metric number 4 is margin and cash flow quality. And this is where especially business services like SMMA, IT services, these kinds of businesses, AI agents, these kinds of businesses have high profit margins, and therefore investors love them. Investors absolutely adore these businesses. Now, that doesn't mean that e-com businesses, which may have small margins, 10, 12, 15%, they can't be sold. The good thing about product-based businesses is that the scale is massive. If you can get a winning product, I don't need to tell you, you're an e-com business owner right now and you've got good sales going on because you found the winning product. The scale is unbelievable as long as you can market it properly. And just like good margins, you need to have good cash flow quality. And what does that mean? That means even if you're starting from zero, it shows that you have measured what your cost of acquisition is and what your profit is, what your margin is. And that, for example, if you spend 5,000 in ads in a month, then you can generate, for example, 20,000 in revenue. And that can in turn give you 10,000 in profit. These are just example numbers out there. So it shows that if you spend this much on ads, you'll get this much in revenue, which will translate to this much in profit. Your overheads is X amount, and therefore your actual EBITDA profit is Y. If you can show that in your business plan, in your projections, in your past and your future, that is going to make your business so much more viable to business buyers and investors. Metric number 5, customer concentration. Now, luckily, most e-com businesses and even digital product services don't suffer from this problem. This is mainly to do with business services, SMMA, IT services, AI agents. If you have one big customer and that accounts for 40% of your revenue, that is a big problem. That is a huge problem, by the way. So you need to ensure that you can diversify your customers. Ideally, now there are other businesses out there that Now, there are other M&A advisors or business brokers out there that look at your business and they say that if your business is doing more than 10% via one customer, meaning one customer accounts for 10% of your business, then you have a customer concentration problem. But I like to look at 5%. And that means that as long as you have one customer that accounts for up to 5%, like 4.9%, 4.99%, then you're okay. If it starts going over 5%, then you might start having a customer concentration problem. Because let's say, for example, that customer turns around and walks away, you've automatically lost 5% of your revenue. Buyers and investors, they stress test businesses when they're looking at businesses to buy. And that's how you can make your business more irresistible, is to reduce the customer concentration, which means increase the number of customers that you have, and no one customer accounts for more than 5% of your business's revenue and profit. And that will protect you that if one of your customers decides to go somewhere else, it's not going to have a huge impact on your business's performance. Now, I just said that it doesn't affect e-com businesses or digital product businesses. However, it can. It can affect e-com businesses and digital product businesses if, for example, you are getting all of your revenue from one product. Now, some digital product businesses are extremely successful and they only have one product. And that's great if you're just, the owner and you don't want to sell, you want to have a good lifestyle business, that's fine. But if you want to exit your business one day and you have a good valuation, diversify your products that you are selling. Now, that doesn't mean you need to have 20 products, but can you have 2 or 3 products, which means that you're not reliant. Now, you're going to have one product, which is going to be your hero product, your flagship product, but can you have other products and services which are also bringing revenue, that if something happens, let's say, for example, Google decides to turn off your ad spend, and then all of a sudden, and that affects your hero product, you've got these other products and services which are producing revenue and producing profit while you bring that ad account back to life. So let's take a look at 2 examples, SMMA businesses selling digital services. One of them gets all of their leads from recommendations and the owner's personal network. There's no processes. The owner knows exactly what's going on inside their head, and they're running the business on a day-to-day basis. And let's say there's no contract revenue. Agency B is getting their leads from Meta ads. They're getting some from recommendations and some from TikTok ads. They've got documented SLPs, and they have the owners running the business, but they have a couple of other people who are using those SLPs on a day-to-day basis, tried and tested. And there are contracts in that business. Now, these are 2 extreme examples, but I want to highlight one. The first one is unsellable. The business almost has no value because all of the relationships are through recommendations and personal network of the owner. There are no contracts in place, and there are no SOPs, there's no standard operating procedures, and it's all run from the owner's head. When the owner sells a business, the only thing that they're selling is the current customer list that they currently have. That's the only thing that they're selling. They're selling no processes, they're selling no system. Well, the second one is a sellable business, and it could be sold for 3 to 4x multiple. Why? Because they've got multiple sources of generating leads and customers. They have their current list, and they got contracts in place for 6 to 12 months, and there are documented SOPs. There's one thing called the owner vacation test. Can the owner go on vacation and other people say 2 weeks? I have a different number that I work with, but can an owner go away on holiday for 2 weeks and the business doesn't fall apart and it continues to operate and run? If a business passes the owner vacation test, then the business is potentially sellable. Now, for me, 2 weeks is way too less, and that's why I use my own metrics. And of course, if you want to know more about that, then you can get your valuation first, number 1, and then you can book a call thereafter by clicking the link in the description. We can go over whether your business passes the owner vacation test or not. But can your business survive without you being there for 2 weeks or longer? If you want your business to survive the owner vacation test, then click this video, which is coming up on the screen. We are always talking about how you can improve your business's valuation and make it more sellable so you can get to a successful exit and the price that you deserve. I'll see you in the next video.